Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we are going to discuss about another interesting topic, talking to the Power BI with Cloud AI. So connecting Cloud Desktop to a live semantic model, how we are going to get it configured. So what are the softwares that are required to get it installed? This part we are going to discuss. So in the next slide, what we will cover for today. Before connecting whatever, so cloud and so on, what is an MCP, which is very important, why it is matter for Power BI, and what about the architecture? We know the architecture of Power BI, but how we will configure with the Cloud AI to this Power BI. So architecture, we are going to get it discussed. And what are the software checklists that is required, everything that you need to get it installed when you are working with a Cloud AI to Power BI. And step-by-step installation. So I'm going to showcase to you, the software is already installed in my mission, but I will showcase to you where this VS Code, Visual Studio Code, and what are the JSON or else the particular application that we need to get it fetched, the code, and where we are going to configure on the Cloud Desktop config file. So what are the necessary permissions that are added here? And further with live demo, and we will also discuss about capabilities and the best practices if you are using with the combination of Cloud AI with Power BI, and what are the resources. This part I'm going to share it via description so that you can also proceed and we can also make use of it. And still, if you have any confusions or clarity required, you can always use the comment box to write your comments. If you like it, please let me know if you have any queries or something. First of all, let's try to understand what is an MCP. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's an open standard communication protocol where let this AI assistant, like this example Cloud connects to your external tools. What are those applications? Data source to an one single consistent interface. That is what nothing but an MCP, Model Context Protocol. Let me add in a few more examples to this. Example, suppose if you imagine about a keyboard, or maybe if you are using a printer in our houses or webcam, each and every device have their separate cables, right? And if it is without that particular, without there is no USB portal, USB cable, each device has its own cable, right? If you have a USB, which is an universal USB, one standard USB, it will works for all any kind of a devices, one single application, one single USB. The same concept for the MCP also. MCP does the same as like AI, artificial intelligence. One more example. Instead of creating a custom integrations with Power BI, SQL Server, GitHub, SharePoint, Salesforce, here AI uses one single protocol, that is an MCP, to communicate all of your activities. Like example, consider the Power BI modeling MCP server. So here, this modeling server acts as like a bridge to communicate between the cloud AI to your semantic model. So if you can open a Power BI report, you developed a report as well with a proper semantic model. And if you want to write a simple statement which is natural English, it's going to connect to via MCP server to your semantic model. That's how it works. So you can connect to the open your Power BI desktop or Fabric workspaces, or even the PBIP Power BI project files also we can get connected. You can see on the right hand side Cloud Desktop for chart kind of an user interface, MCP server where this configuration file to get it translate your request, and Power BI desktop for your live semantic model activities. This is how it is. In a simple term, what is an MCP? MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It is a standard communication protocol. It will acts as like AI assistant securely to get connect to your external tools. Like example, as I said, applications, data sources, and so on, as a single user interface. Okay. Why you are going to connect to the cloud to Power BI? So to create a new tables, in new columns or measures in a simple English. When I type in a simple English, create a table by taking the reference of this means automatically on your Power BI application it will be get created. Like example, one more, create a total sales value by taking the reference of this particular file. You can search only the file. That's it. It will is going to create the measures also accordingly on your Power BI application. Like that it works. I will showcase to you practically. So even you can generate the model documentation part, which is very useful for your sharing these documentations to the next level of people like customers, stakeholders, to maintain the proper I mean how we are getting connected with each and every other table. Documentation is mandatory, and you can also set up the row level security roles and perspectives, and you can also validate once the DAX code has been generated by AI on your Power BI application. Just try to cross verify whether it is any syntax or it is at giving a proper outputs or not. And even it is helpful for your bulk cleanup or reusing the names, renaming it, move the measures or organize the measures in a proper way. Even time intelligence functions also you can make use of it. It works actually. It iterates for the faster than the manual work. That is the main advantage of using Cloud Connect to the Power BI. Coming to the architecture, very simple architecture it is. Here we need Cloud Desktop, not the browser. You have to chart with the natural English, simple English. And once it get connect to your Power BI application via, you can see this architecture, Power BI modeling MCP, model context protocol. So automatically the backend it's going to call with local XML endpoints and to the Power BI. So when you are working with the cloud suggestions or else that particular language, you are writing the natural simple English queries, your Power BI desktop should be stay on. So what Cloud AI will do in the sense, it is going to auto detect your backend instance, that is Power BI application and the semantic model. It detects that semantic model is on, available, and it will try to read all the tables, all the columns and whatnot, everything. After configuring this Power BI modeling MCP server, where you are going to fetch it via Visual Studio Code. So I'm mentioning that Studio Code there. You are not going to write any programming kind of a things there, Visual Studio Code. You are going to capture that particular extension from a marketplace, Power BI modeling MCP marketplace, that particular extension from that. I will showcase to that part also. Don't upload your Power BI desktop applications to the cloud. That is one thing you have to keep in mind. Once it has been configured, that backend, that particular Power BI application, you can simply write your queries via Cloud Desktop. That is well and good. Automatically, whatever you are expecting from the semantic model, it will be get it derived automatically to your Power BI desktop application. That's how it works. What are the software checklist? If you're observing, what is required to get it work on this applications like Cloud Desktop, Power BI, as I mentioned, Power BI Desktop. Before that, you are going to work with the Windows 10 or 11 versions, and Visual Studio Code is recommended to fetch the part of MCP server. And we have to fetch this modeling MCP server from that dedicated location. We have to import it. We have to bring that installation on our local machines. And GitHub is not a mandatory, it is an optional part to serve your insights of your Visual Studio Code. And a cloud desktop, not the web browser cloud application. You have to make use of cloud desktop there, where the developer mode, from the developer mode, you have to get it configured to the uh, cloud configuration JSON file. Okay, I will showcase to where we are going to get it configured in detail. Install this MCP server via Visual Studio Code. It is very simple. I'm going to share you the link if you are planning to get it install this Visual Studio Code. So once the Visual Studio Code has been installed, you have to navigate to the extensions file from the marketplace, and you also search via Control Shift X if you want to search for the extensions. Search with Power BI modeling MCP server, and it will be from Microsoft Publisher. And you can click on the install, and if it is asking you to trusted workspace, yes, you can accept it and get it installed, that Power BI modeling MCP server via Visual Studio Code. That part you have to take care. After that, once Visual Studio Code and install this Power BI MCP server, that particular extension market from the marketplace, you have to identify the location Visual Studio Code with this path. we have to navigate to this particular exe file and find out that particular code, which I have mentioned here, and a separate color coding, Power BI modeling hyphen mcp.exe file, executable files. Copy that code, complete path, you have to get it copied and configure it via cloud config file, which I'm going to showcase to you in the next part. Okay, practically. How we are going to configure in Claude Desktop? It's as simple as processing part. Once at your end on your missions, Claude Desktop has been installed. Desktop, you have to get it installed. This, go to the files on a Cloud Desktop, files, settings, and from there you have to navigate to the developer. You can see something like an edit config. Suppose edit config here, edit configuration. If the first time installation, you will not see anything on the connected service. You have to configure first time to make use of this Power BI modeling MCP exe file. To do that, this particular code, this particular set of lines, JSON code lines, you have to copy this via Visual Studio Code and paste it in this Cloud Desktop config.json file. That's what you have to do. Very careful while copy pasting from fetching the code from Visual Studio to this cloud configuration file. This is very, very important. Use the double black slash. Okay, make sure that it is having the double back slash in the path. Save the file and then reopen it. Just try to check the changes has been loaded or not. So even better solution is you can also restart your laptop so that you can see on a cloud desktop. Once you navigate again to the path like cloud desktop settings developer, you can see a specific MCP server has been connected and running. That configuration you are going to observe it once you restart that laptop. So whenever if you are getting right installation or reprocessing or executing some queries via cloud desktop application, you can see some kind of a prompts, permission prompts. Allow to get connect to the Power BI file, or allow to get past this semantic model, allow to create or use the measure creations. Whenever if you're getting this kind of a request permission prompts, you can always allow it. Okay, once you get allowed, so that is going to read your backend semantic model, it will be get it derived what needs the expected measures and so on. And before that, the best practices should be make sure that when you're using the cloud combination with Power BI Desktop, make a backup. Okay, create a backup file. Okay, maintain the backup file, original file, before granting or else allowing these production activities. That is very, very important. What are the things that we have to work or connect and verify? If you're observing, open Power BI Desktop. That is what we have to do it first with proper report. Okay, where you can see a proper semantic model. Keep it open. Don't close it. When you are working with the cloud, natural language to pass your commands to the Power BI. Parallelly, you can also open a cloud desktop. Automatically, it detects. Sometimes, if it is not detecting the cloud desktop, you have to prompt it. Like once the configure has been done, you can prompt it. So MCP server already installed and I have already opened some kind of a commands, like I have already opened my Power BI application, so that it is going to read via this XML endpoint and get connect to your Power BI desktop too, and then start asking some questions like what are the tables are available in my current semantic model. And if it is asking you something like a permission, allow access, provide access to the cloud, it will be get listed all the tables, or specifically if you are interested in a column or you want to derive a new measure, it's definitely get it created. Not via not in Cloud AI Desktop. It's going to create these measures, tables, everything on the Power BI application itself, desktop itself. So cloud finds this running Power BI Desktop and process automatically, and it will get connect whatever which tools that has been opened or else model has been opened. Let's work on the demo part. So as I said, important things that you have to get it open. You have to open a working Power BI file, make it as a one more backup in the backend side, safety side. Automatically your cloud desktop application will be detects it. After detecting, you can start writing the queries like simple English in the cloud desktop. How many number of tables, what are the list, create the model, okay, create the measures and so on. Review it. and clean if there is any unnecessary functions that are available in your application. And also you can create a new measures automatically by a simple command like top 5 vendors concentration. This particular command, it works in the backend part and try to generate this measure on your Power BI application. And even you can also design your templates also, themes. So you can simply write some kind of a theme I'm expecting for this report. So it's going to generate the JSON theme. You can import it via Power BI layer also. That is also fine. Okay. Full capabilities, what Cloud do for your data modeling. So it's going to connect to your tables or columns, create, rename, delete tables, adding a new calculated column and setting up the data types. Measures, it's definitely create the measures, and even if there is any existing measures, if you want to update, you can update it. It will ask you, the commands prompts, it will ask you to update it. And if you want to get it renamed or move from one table to the another table, it works. Relationship building or fixing between the connections, a table to the table, it works. Calculation groups and calendars, reusable time intelligence functions like YTDs, LTDs, QTDs, and YTDs, it works. And if you want to configure the refresh or partition, it is also working on the Cloud App part. Security, as I said, creating the roles, defining the roles as per the table. We can also create it via simple statements. And prospective curated data model, which works for a different audience like finance wise, procurement wise, we can create it and run ad hoc DAX command along with the syntax performance. So these all performance capabilities are there. And TMD, tabular model definition language, exports, okay, export to your model, and which will be helpful when you are configured with the zit, the GitHub, like changes configuration from the old file to the current file. Even you can start deploying the reports to your Fabric environment, push the desktop model straight away to the Fabric workspaces too. These are all the capable, full functional and capabilities that are available from Cloud Desktop to the Power BI. Best practices. Backup. Definitely you have to make sure that when you're using with an AI assistant, if there is any errors or configurations issue level, make sure that you have a backup file as well, PBX file. And export in the form of a TMDL views, your historical information. Maybe if this is configured with the GitHub, you can also make use of the historical changes as well. Validate the DAX, what has been written. Sometimes the logic will be wrong, right? So you have to cross verify the logic as well. Try read only mode. Explore all the models safety purpose and it will be get it allowed and review it, what has been defined. And whenever, if there is any permissions level asking, like always allow it, and it will be get effective reporting level. The changes will be get it replicated to your reporting level. So where whenever you are allowing the necessary permissions, it is going to communicate with your Power BI semantic model and derive the analysis. So as I mentioned, restart your Cloud Desktop whenever there is a configuration changes, and it will take some time to get it affect those changes, new changes. Before moving on to the resources and queries, let me walk you through how we are going to set it up these configurations. So as I said, let me open in Word document as well. I have written some important activities which we need. So Visual Studio Code link, this link I'm going to post it in the description box. You can make use of it. So here, please try to install this one, Windows 10 11, this particular file. If you are using a Windows machines, just try to click on this particular exe file, download it, and then the installation process is very simple. After this, once you get it installed, next part is Cloud Desktop. So it is going to work on the Cloud Desktop only, not on browser cloud. So make sure that you're going to install this Cloud Desktop on your local. It looks in this way. It's a separate application, so you can make use of this particular Cloud Desktop. And open Power BI semantic model. So make sure that you have a Power BI desktop as well. So this is the link. So make sure that you can install this Power BI desktop and then open any one of the existing reports. Okay, you can make use of a financial data set also, sample data set also, if you want to do some little bit of practice with some natural English typing with the cloud, how it is reflecting the changes or else measures, creating the new tables on Power BI. You can make use of sample data set part also. You can, first of all, you need to have a software. So please install it via this Microsoft link, or maybe from Microsoft stores also you can get it installed, this Power BI Desktop. It's your comfort. Fine. What next? So assume that Visual Studio Code has been added, downloaded and installed on your machines. After that, where we are going to configure this MCP, Power BI Modeling MCP server. So here, this particular one. So if you're observing my screen, this particular one, you have to make use of it. Let me showcase to you. Give me a minute. This one. Please use this one. Okay, this is an extension. Use this. Click on this. You have to click on this. Let me do that. Select it. This is an extension marketplace. Search with the Power BI modeling MCP. Okay, this is how it looks like. MCP, this is how it looks like, Power BI Modeling MCP server. Click on this. So it's a software from Microsoft. So you have to get it installed. Basically, if you're not, you have to get it installed, this application, this particular exe file. Okay, where this particular MCP server is going to communicate to your cloud. I mean, your semantic model to the visualization process. You can create the tables, columns, measures, relationships, everything. Okay, whatnot. Most of the functionalities are get it allowed. You have to get it done. This one. This is the Visual Studio Code Power BI extension file, extension exe file, where we are going to find out this path. So let me showcase to that part also. So see here on this PC, C drive is going to available on users, my personal login. And here, once you install this Visual Studio Code, you have to navigate to this path, VS Code, extensions, analysis and services. Here, you can find servers. Servers is there. Servers, you can find this is the application. This is what I'm saying. So you can open this application. Already Visual Studio Code I have installed. You can double click. It will automatically redirect to the Visual Studio Code, or you can also open in a Notepad++ or Notepad. So let me double click here. So already Visual Studio Code is there. So here, this particular steps or lines, you have to copy this. Copy this. This is important. Let me read it out. MCP configuration, servers, Power BI modeling underscore hyphen MVP, MCP. So this is where you have to configure. This is the naming convention. This line is very, very important. So just try to cross verify. Command C drive users. This is my local path extension, and here where the exe file is there. So arg start and then environment. This particular lines, if you're observing from starting curly braces to end curly braces, copy this, Control C. I'm pasting in my notepad for time being. Copy paste it. So where I have pasted this one, this code I have pasted from VS Code. Okay, VS Code path. Okay, VS Code path. Let me copy this path also for time being. This particular path. Okay, for time being I'm copying the path where it is available locally in my users folder, Rajan .vs code. After installing, you're not going to write any programming. That's what I'm saying. You have to get this code there from this location. Okay, get this code. Got it? After this, what we have to do, once you copy paste it, you have to get it open this cloud application. I have written some prompts there. Let me use a new, okay, so that it is easy for us. This is how it looks like, the front end Cloud Desktop. I'm using the Cloud Desktop now, not a web browser cloud. So this is a locally installed cloud. Okay, Cloud Desktop. So here, click on this three horizontal lines, files, settings. So as I said, from the settings, you have to navigate to the developer pane. So here, this particular desktop app, developer, click on this, select it, developer. So you can see the accounts, privacies and so on, and the settings, and the desktop app level, general, extensions, developer. Just try to click on the developer. So it's reading. It's checking for the connectors and browsers what I have opened. You can see here, click on the developer. Basically, if you are install latest Cloud Desktop, you are not going to observe any of the connectors here. So I have already configured. So you are going to observe the first time installed people, you are going to observe edit config and no servers has been connected. That is the option will be visible to you the first time. So you have to click on this edit config. Click on this so that it will redirect to the that packages the Cloud Desktop configuration JSON file. So here again you can double click this one or else open in a notepad also, that is fine. You can double click. There's a set of bunch of JSON information is there. You can see here what I did in the sense of the starting itself, I copy pasted my code. This particular whatever I have showcased to you, this code Control C I have used, which I have pasted from the Visual Studio Code. I pasted here, right at the starting itself, and use it, comma separator, comma for the next lines of JSON lines. Okay, for workspace or for code sessions and so on. I'm not disturbing any another. So next lines is going under preferences, versions, and so on. So up to this part, you just have to copy and paste from Visual Studio Code Power BI MCP server code to this Cloud Desktop, cloud configuration file. So once you're done, right? Close it, close it. Once it is completed, close it. Try to restart your laptop one time. Just restart one time so that the changes will be get it added to your desktop, Cloud Desktop as well. After that, please again open any of the existing report. Don't close your Power BI desktop. Okay, please open the Power BI desktop always on. That's what I said. Once Power BI desktop with proper datasets has been there, let's get start with this. Okay, maybe after restarting, right? Just try to cross verify again. What you have to do, go to the files, settings, again navigate to the developer. Now you have to check something like, as I said, this particular connector is running, up and running. Power BI modeling MCP is currently running. Okay, so you have to see this one. If it is not available, there is something issues. Please cross verify. Once you have get it configure that particular code which you have fetched from the Visual Studio Code to this cloud developers config files. Okay, you have to see this particular exe file is up and running. Then we can get start with some questions to our semantic model. So already I have opened my Power BI report with procurement report reporting related data sets on the right hand side, like approximately eight data sets are there. Let's try to write some queries. Okay, so on the cloud part, uh, simple statements, I'm going to write it in English. So how many number of tables in my connected Power BI or PBX file procurement report? Simply I'm adding, let's see. Simple question, how many number of tables in my connected Power BI PBX procurement report? Backend it is finding out the tool. Let's see, it's going to revert something or not. Yeah, taking some time. If you have any questions, please post it so that I'm happy to see your queries too. If anybody beneficial, let me know on the chat in our comments. It helps actually. Connecting, okay. Found it. Okay, see here. The port changed since Power BI development restarted. Let me reconnect. Okay. It's trying to connect via endpoint. Yep. See here. Your procurement report semantic model currently has 11 tables total. 11 tables, sorry. 11 tables. Okay. Three are hidden tables. 8 tables are visible to you. Okay. Some tables are there. Table date related table. Those are hidden tables and totally 8 tables are visible. Let's try to create some new measure based on the connected table. Let me check the report. What are the important fields that we have? Okay, so create a measure for savings. Okay, savings related, I'm going to ask my cloud, create a measure for savings. Let's see whether it is going to create a measure for savings directly on Power BI or not. We will observe. Okay, see here. We have to refresh it, or automatically it will prompts us to refresh so that it's going to visible. Okay, in the parallel, let me open this as well. Okay, see here. There's already savings column. Okay, create a measure I'm asking. So is that created or not? Let's try to cross verify. Total savings. Yes, it is. See here. Total savings measure is created, right? Let's try to ask one more question related to uh, time intelligence function. Let's try with this. Compare total number of invoices for current year with last year. Measure. Create it. Simple English I'm using. I'm not using particular statement as it is what I'm actually looking for. That particular statements I'm writing there. Let's see whether it is going to create it or not. We will observe it here. With some measure name also it will be get it added. Once the new measures, right, once the prompts, when you are prompting that, it's going to derive even a folders to see here. Savings with total savings folder. Time intelligence, earlier I have derived with time intelligence functions related to total invoices is derived. So like that, it's picturizing, so dedicated folders, assigning everything, and then get it derived. See here, let me showcase. Is that working? Yes, relationships operations is going on. Let's see. Year over year comparison it is doing. Let's say that. Yeah. Created four measures and invoices. So see here, these are the four measures it is created. Let me check on the reporting level also. Here, risk, something is created, risk metric. So what it is created? Total invoice count. Is that available with the name? Total invoice count. It is there. You can see here. Let me check invoice count prior year. So though it is generating, it is our responsibility to cross verify whether the output is expected output is correct or not. We have to cross check. So see here, these are the four metrics which has been derived from our current statement. So you have to cross check the measures as well, year over year comparisons and so on. This is how it looks like. Okay. So automatically you can define the new, even the new tables also we can create it, but I'm not doing that currently. You can create the new tables, relationship, you can cross verify, modify it, or even you can arrange the measures, right? Everything we can perform via this simple statements, which you are writing a natural language process via Cloud AI. So it is trying to connect to your backend MCP configurations. We have configured it and communicating to your semantic model. That's how it is working on. Even recently, what I did in the sense, I have asked my this particular report, try to generate a template for me, theme for me. So it is generated a specific theme. So it is how it looks like. Let me showcase to you the template as well. Okay, uh, procurement template. Where is it? Yeah, here. Here. So this is how it looks like. Procurement template. I have asked to generate one other template. So with a blue and details. How I'm going to import, we already aware of it. Views. From views, we can navigate to the, currently I have used some color combinations on my report. I'm using the new template which has been Cloud AI has been generated. Browse for theme, and I can make use of the new template for this procurement report. Open it. It will get it added. See there? Like this it works. So fonts, everything will be get changed. Fine. Hope you like this one. And coming to the resources, GitHub level, I'm going to, I mean, these links and all, I'm going to post it. I will provide in the description part. You can add it, and you can also do these activities. Try on your own. If you have any queries, please comment on the session so that I'm happy to help you. And if anybody new people join in on this, please like it, share, and subscribe. Data Analytic Group. We will conduct global sessions. I mean community sessions via on all the tools on Microsoft Tech Stack like Microsoft Fabric, Power BI, and AI related sessions as well. Hope you like the session. Hope you like the processing part, how it is working and how it is reading the data, and the backend semantic model, how it is generating your measures and all tables information and so on. And please do it at your own, and if you have any queries, please post it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good night.